Question 1. Comprehension activities and instruction are very different for kindergarten and second grade. Would you describe the approaches you would take for instruction for these two grades and let us know why these approaches are developmentally appropriate? Well, kindergartners and second graders are only 2 years apart, but developmentally those 2 years make a huge difference. Comprehension activities require the students to take something they not only have heard, but actually process it and remember it. This is what learning it or comprehending it really means. So in general, no matter what the grade, I make sure that my classroom is stimulating and facilitates connections across content areas. In kindergarten, students are still learning what school is about. One of my favorite activities that increases comprehension at this level is drama. Students who can act out a story or pretend to be a plant growing will remember it much better than those who just hear a teacher talk about it. Centers that have to do with the topic of a lesson can also be useful. These approaches work for kindergartners developmentally because at that age, it is still very much about movement and being able to explore and discover things for oneself. Even if kindergartners do not sit and have lengthy discussions about a topic, being able to touch and act out reinforces things in their minds and helps them remember and comprehend. On the other hand, in second grade, the instructor's job is to make comprehension much more explicit. There is a focus on comprehension with questions, inferences, and making connections. I use a predict, read, explain, connect cycle of discussion. This is appropriate for second grade because the children have had practice thinking at a higher level, have longer attention spans, and a more advanced vocabulary to practice speaking about new things. Question 2. We have an increasing number of English language learners in our school. How would you modify your instruction to promote their oral development? I'm so glad you asked. I am an elementary education Bachelor of Arts Master of Teaching student, but I also am taking classes to receive an endorsement to teach English as a second language. There are numerous great modifications one can do to adapt to these learners, but I believe that one of the most important things to remember is that, as good teachers, we should be differentiating instruction for all students. Now, there are some specific ways that I like to incorporate ELLs into the classroom and promote their oral language development. One way is the buddy system. I always recommend assigning an English-speaking child as a buddy to help model a strong use of English. It can be invaluable to ELLs to have someone there who enjoys working with them and can answer any questions. It not only helps with the instruction, but it also builds confidence in the language and in themselves. Finally, I take a language experience approach, which means having lots of time for talking about stories and reading and writing about topics that they enjoy to promote a love of literacy and learning. Question 4. We've been talking about revisions to our primary grade writing instruction program. Could you describe a progression of instruction from preschool through second grade? Writing across the grades involves good practice of what has been taught in word work. To begin, writing in preschool is about letter learning, although the beginnings of journals can be kept and stories can be written using pictures. Instruction is frequently done at the whole group level, with ongoing assessment to see where students are. In kindergarten, children use more complex words in their writing and can begin to think about language choices. Some independent writing can be done, and guided writing is helpful so that students see the teacher model correct methods. In first grade, interactive writing is a great tool to have students practice techniques and model them for the rest of the class. This gives students confidence in their writing skills, and the teacher can easily correct any mistakes. Interactive writing also helps students practice new concepts and reinforces older ones. Independent time to practice handwriting and spelling is also important in first grade. In second grade, during shared writing, students work on writing in new genres and incorporating grammar structures beyond simple punctuation. In guided writing for second grade, there's an emphasis on text layout, punctuation such as ellipses, quotations, and commas, and grammar with verb agreement and varied sentences. Independently, there's work on revision, use of writer's notebooks, lots of functional writing, and work on reorganizing. Writing across the grades can be tied into reading, dramatic play, and field trips. In my opinion, linking everything together and making it relevant is the mark of a good curriculum and writing program. Thank you. Thank you.